this life will be back around. So don't let it let you down. Say the night is young and we are too. Let's bring some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew. Oh, baby, say the night is young and we are too. Let's bring some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew. Yeah, say it. And yeah, say it. What good is love if your heart is where it stays? Now that ain't right. And what good's a song if you don't sing your pain away? Ooh, every night. 'Cause this life will be back around. So don't let it let you down. Say the night is young and we are too. Let's break some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew. Oh, baby, say the night is young and we are too. Let's break some rules, 'cause we ain't got no curfew.
Welcome, lover. I'm the Naughty Scribe, author, businesswoman, and your host for the next hour. This live stream is dedicated to love, sex, acceptance, and understanding the lifestyle and ultimate sensuality. Trust me, lover, the knowledge I drop will be straight, no chaser. So sit back and prepare yourself. It's about to get naughty.
Welcome, lovers. This is the Nice and Naughty Hour, and once again, I am your hostess, the Naughty Scribe. Now, tonight is going to be a dog of a show. We're going to literally assume the position. All about doggy style, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the pros, the cons, and some little surprises in between, but not too little. Just going there, guys. In addition, we're going to have a couple of updates in our Naughty News segment, but we're going to start off with our what the fuck moment. That's why we call it what the fuck. Okay, so our what the fuck moment is going to be something that guys, this is going to sound like a guy-centric show tonight. It really isn't, but I'm sorry. I fell in love with this topic when I found out about it. We have Starbucks, we have Dunkin' Donuts, we have Krispy Kreme. But in Switzerland, and now coming soon in London, they have, yes, lovers, the Fellatio Cafe. Yes, you heard me correctly. A blowjob cafe where you literally go in, you pick your brew, you pick your pastry, and then depending on whether you're in London or you're in Switzerland, you will be picking a robot. Yes, lovers, I kid you not. You will be picking out your fellatio or your blowjob doll. Again, this is a true what the fuck moment, but it is delicious. So let's jump right into it. Sexpreneur, and that's what he calls himself. I love that title. I think I'm going to co-opt it. Sexpreneur, Brad Charvet, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, announced plans in June to open up, which is now called the Fellatio Cafe in Geneva, Switzerland, where, of course, sex working, prostitution is legal. Okay, well, he had the great idea based on, and yes, ladies, we kind of gave him the ammo to do this, based on a American Medical Journal article by a very famous doctor that stressed that women who masturbate in the morning before going to work, you know, get that little twerk before you hit the shower, said that we are less likely to be stressed at work, less likely to be stressed in our lives, that we actually do add a couple of years to our lives, and that our overall disposition and attitude is much better. Now, let's be honest, ladies. We know this works for the guys. They get that little jerk before work, and they are mellow as a motherfucker. The boss can say any kind of shit they want to. They're not trying to hear it. Why? And there really is a medical reason for it. No, it doesn't make you go blind, but the orgasm releases endorphins, which are those feel-good chemicals that do just that. The brain lets it out. We feel good. We feel relaxed. We have a mellow, almost euphoric feeling, and it lasts for hours. So literally, when does most of the stress happen for most of us on our job? As soon as we walk in the damn door, okay? Something that didn't get done last night, a rush meeting all of a sudden that no one knew about, and now everybody got to get their shit on track, quick, fast, in a hurry, so that the big person looks good and never gives us credit for it. Okay, fine. But that's what it's based on. So Mr. Bradley Charvet decided, hey, look, what's good for the gander should be good for the goose. So he decided that along with your morning coffee and along with your morning donut, you should be able to go into a cafe, order up a pair of lips that you like, go into a room, get off, wipe off, tuck it, and go to work. Now, part of me thinks this is brilliant as hell, okay? I really do. Can you imagine being able to, and I'm just thinking, hey, ladies, if it could work for them, just saying, we could, have a lickety split, salon. I'm just saying. But I think this is brilliant. And the fact, of course, that it would be done in Europe, where they have more realistic and more relaxed attitudes about sensuality, more accepting, is fantastic. But here's the thing. I didn't think that this would translate to London. But actually, here's the business sense of it. So yes, it's that entrepreneur, that sexpreneur coming out in me. He surveyed the top business countries in the world, and one of them, yes, lovers, happens to be London. And what he found was that where there are people who are very stressed, who are very goal-oriented about their job, they basically have very little life outside of their job, this kind of business is actually seen as a benefit, and some companies will actually subsidize it. Now, here in the United States, we can get our transportation subsidized if you take public transportation to work. Some places will help subsidize your parking, give you a little break on your parking fees, which is big in this area because parking can cost you as much as a mortgage in some places for a monthly spot. So I understand the perks of that. But the idea that your job might actually pay for you once or twice a week to get your ass up and go get a blowjob before you come to work. Now, here's the thing. How do you write that off on your taxes? I'm just curious. How the fuck do you write that off on your taxes? What line on your on the W-2 is that going to go on as a withholding for the company? I'm just curious. Okay, that one I would love to see. Here's the other thing. I kind of think that this will pick up in the United States, because where here do we have legal prostitution? Nevada. I cannot wait for them to open up a very special Starbucks with very interesting shaped pastries and that cool little back room with the little beaded curtain. I'm just telling you, lovers, this is too delicious for me. I'm loving every absolute absolute moment of this one. Again, you can Google it. The name of it is in Geneva, Switzerland, and the name of the cafe is literally called the Fellatio Cafe. Now, here's the twist in what he's doing different in Switzerland, Geneva, than he's doing in London. In London, there are very strict rules about sex workers. So what sense does it make to open up a blowjob bar in London? Here's the twist. There is no regulation on machinery or devices, which, as you know, lovers, the Nice and Naughty Adult Boutique, we take care of. We actually do have fuck machines, and I'm going to bring one with me at another time. It's really cool. But the issue is, if you have a basically animatronic doll, like a blow-up doll that has certain parts that mimic the suction of a mouth, and believe it or not, yes, lovers, we actually do have them. We actually do have devices, sleeves, jerk-off sleeves, pumps and whatnot that you use manually or with a hand controller that gives the sensation of a blowjob. So it's not far-fetched to be able to insert one of those devices into a realistic blow-up doll or a PVC synthetic doll close to a mannequin with moving parts. We've all seen them. And allow the gentleman to pick and choose which one they like, go into a back room, have their coffee, have their pastry, get their nut off, clean up, and go to work. Now, I'm telling you, whatever company subsidized this bonus, you're going to have a long-ass line of applicants, like about 50 or 60 miles long. I don't know what. And here's another thing. You can best believe nobody's going to be late for work. No man is going to be late for work, because all you have to do is say, hey, look, Wiley, you've been coming in a couple of times late. We might have to cut back on that morning benefit. I promise you, Wiley will not be late for work ever again in life. Wiley will not even look for another job. He is staying with that company. I promise you, somebody is going to figure out a way to get away with bringing that here in the United States. I promise you it's going to show up somewhere in Nevada. And if you think that's bullshit, remember that in Europe, and I want to say it's in the Netherlands, where smoking pot is legal. It's so legal that you can go into certain bars and pick and choose just like you would a Happy Meal. You can now do that shit in Colorado. And you would never believe that even 5 years ago. Okay, so don't think that a blowjob bar is necessarily out of the question here in the United States. So, lovers, that is my what the fuck moment. But remember, the name of it, if you want to look it up, is called the Fellatio Cafe in Geneva, Switzerland. Google Fellatio Cafe in London and read the whole article. I'm telling you, it is absolutely fascinating. With that, we're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back in one. Welcome back, lovers. I'm the Naughty Scribe, and once again, you're on the Nice and Naughty Hour. Now, I did tell you that this was going to be a dog of a show, so we're going to jump right into it with our Getting It In moment. Okay, so to me, this was just one of those, you got to do it. You just got to do it shows. Two major, and I do mean major online, reputable magazines did articles on the opposite end of doggy style. And the first thing I thought about was, okay, why Cosmopolitan, I can understand. Yes, cosmopolitan.com. But Metro UK, again, in Great Britain, one of their major online publications did one on the opposite track, and they both did them around the same time. So I was wondering what the fuck was going on with that. Why and why both of them are doing different takes on doggy style. And I found out a little late, but there was a major survey done on sex habits in the industrialized countries, US being one. And one of the things that was surveyed is basically, what position do you like to be in? And it was an in-depth survey. And in the top 3, no surprise, was doggy style. But the problem with doggy style was there, for every one person that loved it, there was another person that had some problems with it. How does that work when it is literally 2 or 3, depending on which survey you looked at, but it was always within the top 3 sexual positions? Now, of course, we all know what number 1 is, and that's missionary. Okay, just on your back, legs apart, getting pounded out. That is still the number 1 position. But number 2 or number 3, depending on which one you looked at, is doggy style. So let's get into, and I'm going to be honest with you, depending on who I'm with, it is one of my favorites, or it could be an okay. And we'll get into that a little later. But let's get into some of the pros of doggy style. Okay, number 1, it is easy to do. It is one of those positions where you do not have to worry about if your gut's in the way, if you're flexible enough. You know, you don't have to worry about trying to get your foot behind your head. None of that dumb shit. Doggy style is real easy. You bend over, you get on your knees, you're on all fours, and you deal with it. Okay? So it's one of the reasons it's a popular position is because it's second to just laying down. It's one of the easiest positions to get into. Number 2, and this one, lovers, I actually appreciate. If TMI moment, you're a little on the juicy side, let's just say. It is an easy position to clean up from. Okay? Think about it this way. When everything is said and done, you might be a little sweaty, but there's no evidence, let's say, left on your back, on your thighs, on your lips, on your tits. You know, you don't have to take a complete shower to freshen up from doggy style. You got one main area to worry about. Take care of it right. The other stuff you can do what we call a bird bath, and we're done. Okay, so doggy style is actually one of the easiest positions to clean up from. Okay, number 3. Now, this one was common sense to me. I'm surprised it wasn't number 1, but this one, number 3, it's a power position. Yes, lovers, we know exactly what that means. It means that whether you're male or female, the partner that is pounding has all the control. They get to set the pace. They get to set the intensity. And let's face it, if you fluffy like me, they got some serious hips to hold on to. So there's a lot of grounding, meaning that they don't have any slippage. They don't have to worry about keeping their balance or anything like that. They just grab onto your hips and go for it. Okay, so it's a power position. It's also a position of dominance because, again, and we talked about this before, for some partners, and in this particular case, we're talking about males, or we're talking about our lovely lesbians with a strap on, that being the pusher instead of the receiver is a very dominant and powerful position. And let's face it, it's very erotic. So number 3 is a powerful position. The next thing, it is the least embarrassing position. Now, this one I had to really delve into because I couldn't understand what would be so embarrassing about being the giver, not the receiver, being the giver in a doggy style sexual position. But here's the thing. In that survey, men cop to, even in the most heated of moments, doing certain things that women do not find attractive. Like, for instance, you can be pounding it out, and if you're really sweaty, you do that thing real quick. sometimes women don't find that attractive, or you make a certain face or bite a lip or do something that you feel isn't masculine. When you get close to that point, when a woman's facing away from you, there really is this sense that even though she is right there, I mean, clearly, boom, 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 right there, there is this sense of she can't see you. So like my puppies, they think if they hide their face, if they can't see me, I can't see them, so they can get away with shit. Men actually do have that same mentality. No, not calling you dogs, at least not on this show. But trust me, we have had that conversation. But the issue about it is if they need to scratch their ass real quick, if they need to rub their balls real quick, if they, need to do a little quick sniff because, hey, smells do add to the sensuality. They can do little things that normally they wouldn't do if we're looking at them because they're worried about how we would perceive them, whether that would be a deal breaker. But hey, if you're facing somewhere else and he gets to do what he wants to do, then all those little freaky things, even if it's picking his nose, all those little freaky things that he's embarrassed to do with you looking at him, he can do it while he's pounding you out. So it's the least for men embarrassing position to be in. Number 5, and now this one, lovers, this one we can roll with, okay? If you are a lover of the booty, if you like it bodacious, if you need some junk in that trunk and that's what gets you off, gentlemen, ladies, if you are an ass lover, this is the number one position you want to have your lover in. All ass all the time, okay? And ladies, you know where I'm going. If you like that little pop at the right time, if you like that little smack, that's the position you want to be in, especially if he knows how to pop it right at just the right time. So for men who are ass lovers, who love the booty, this is one of the best positions to have a sexual encounter in. Number 6 is another one that works for me. And again, it wasn't until we started, again, with my little brainstorming group, it wasn't until we talked about it and talked about the articles that we were reading and because I have a mixed little group, a couple of old heads like me, but a couple of young bucks too, because we like to, mix it up and see where everybody is. This one kind of floated around. It was one of those conversations we're having where in a moment you go, a light bulb just went off and you didn't think about it. Everyone in a different way said the same thing. This position is one of those positions that works no matter what your age is, no matter what your size is. Even somebody with bad knees can actually do this position. They can't do it for 10 and 50 hours, but they can actually comfortably get in this position. And there are actually devices, yes, I sell them. There are actually devices to help you hold that position and take some of the weight off of your knees if that's what you need. But the point is that almost everyone said the same thing, that it was for the most part, it was a comfortable and it was just an easy position to get into that didn't require you to be a size 2, that didn't require you to be, muscle bound, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for your woman to enjoy some seriously intense sex. Doggy style seems to work for everybody, no matter what your age, no matter what your health issues. It just is another one of those positions that really seems to work for everybody. And another thing that I thought was kind of telling as far as my guys are concerned, but this is one of those positions where they can actually sneak in a break and it doesn't break up the rhythm or the sensuality. And I wondered how that would work. And I kid you not, you motherfuckers are slick as hell. You are slick as hell. Yeah, hey, look, why say it louder? Say it louder.
Bounce that ass back.
He said, bounce that ass back. That's exactly right. But that's an honest to goodness truth. And it never occurred to me that that's what you motherfuckers are doing, is you're taking a break. When it gets to a certain point and your partner or your boo says, come on, baby, back this ass up. Back that ass up. And you start pounding it back for him. You start doing that rocking. It ain't all the time because he's really feeling it like that. It's because this motherfucker needs 2 seconds to get himself together. But he doesn't want to lose that stimulation because he doesn't want to get soft. So what he's asking you to do is to keep fucking for him until he can get his act together. And then he'll presume the proper pounding again. I had to think about this because now I'm going to be self-conscious with this shit. Oh, shut up, Wally. Now, Yes, but you know.
That bounce back.
So yeah, I
That's
know.
always the case.
But look. See, Wally knows I love him. No, I'm not arguing with you about the bouncing back. Hey, I like to throw it back myself. But my thing is this: when I'm in my sub mode, because yes, you know I'm a true switch. I can be dominant or sub depending on my partner. But when I'm in a sub mode and you give me that little tap or that little signal that you want me to start rocking and pounding it back, I'm going to give it to you. But now I have to think, am I giving it to you this way because you're really getting off and that's helping me to get off? Or you just taking a break, motherfucker? Is this just you saying, hold up, I need a smoke, I need a cigarette, I need a drink or something. You keep it rolling for a minute, I'll get back to you without having to pull out. That is some sneaky ass shit. And I love it. I really do love it. But it's like now that you know how the magic is done, it's like, am I going to have a second to think about this? Well, lovers, that is the pros of doggy style. So after we take our next break, yes, you know, we're going to have to do the flag on the play. We're going to have to get into some of the not so pros of doggy style. So see you in one. Welcome back, lovers. I'm the Naughty Scribe, and once again, you're on a nice and naughty hour. And yes, this show is about doggy style. Okay, assuming a different position that everybody apparently likes to do. But now, we did talk about before the break the pros of doggy style. So it's only fair if, yes, lovers, we get into the flag on the play. Perfect. Okay, well, now, doggy style don't please everybody. Okay, and there are some things. Now, again, these are the minority of people who took the survey had these complaints. But going through them and talking over with my group, I can understand how there could be one or two issues. Okay, first issue. If you are a big girl, ooh, we got a lot going on there. But if you are a voluptuous or fluffy chick, especially if you own it, you got a healthy rack on you most of the time. You also got a little, what I like to call my mini-me or my roommate, meaning you got a little bit of gut, okay? Now, I own my shit, as y'all know, okay? I'm fat and fine and 50, loving it. But here's the thing. In doggy style, and I will admit, it has happened to me, so you have to kind of know how to hold your position. But when them girls get to swinging, and they got some weight to them, that ain't always a comfortable feeling. Okay, I'm just telling you, it's not. And if you are really blessed in the mammary area, if your ass is on a floor or on a rug, your nipples are scraping up against some shit. And I'm gonna tell you something now, that's a fucking deal breaker. Okay, if you can imagine your balls rubbing against some rough ass material or up against maybe some linoleum that ain't all that smooth, catching splinters and shit, it ain't working for you. So ladies that are of the big titty committee, I do understand, okay? But yes, there is a way to do that, and the naughty one's gonna help you out with that one. Wear a fucking bra. And here's the thing about that. Wear a sexy ass bra, because he likes looking at lingerie too. And here's something you may not have realized. Just before he gets there, he likes to unwrap his gift. So you're not free-flowing as bad as you are. You can wear a very pretty, very sexy bra that'll give you, and it doesn't have to be a really stiff bra, something that you will wear to work so that you're not jiggly. It can give you a little give. It's just needs to be something to help pull you up so that you don't have that bowling ball bouncing back and forth sensation. Because trust me, I do believe and I understand. The next problem, I didn't really get this one too much. I understand it. I didn't get it because it's not something that I've ever had to deal with. But apparently some women have, and some men get a neck strain. Now my thing is this: if you're in doggy style, your focus is supposed to be forward, not back. Okay, so if you are facing forward, or if your head is dropped, and you're just allowing your neck to relax, there is no neck strain. But apparently a lot of people like to look behind them while they're getting it doggy style, and so they have complaints about neck strain. So here's a suggestion. It's like an ass. Everybody's got one. Do what you want with it. But here's my suggestion. If the position requires you to be facing forward, just fucking face forward. Okay? There's nothing going on in back that you need to see right now. Just go with the feeling. Go with the flow. Hell, get some imagination going on. Think about Denzel, or think about George Clooney, or whatever you want. He don't know what the fuck you doing either. You can't see him. He can't see your face. Both of y'all have fun with it. But you don't have to worry about neck strain. Keep your focus forward. Okay? It's easy enough to resolve. The next one, and again, it depends on what you're doing it on. There was a complaint about sore knees and sore wrists. Now, the wrist part, I do understand, and I'm going to tell you why. I used to have a very buffed, very physically fit lover who, when we had sex and he had to prop himself up, he didn't prop himself on his hands. He actually did this motion where he propped himself on the back of his hands, meaning he put most of the pressure of holding his upper body up on his wrists. So when I saw that, and I had my little crew going, well, what the fuck are you doing on your wrist? I said, oh yes, actually I have seen that happen. So not every man is a palm down. They're, basically the back of the hand down, which is putting strain on the wrist. Also, there was a complaint about sore knees. Now, sore knees is all about the ladies. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to be honest on this show. We're talking about fucking rug burn, okay? If your ass is on the floor, because, hey, a lot of times doggy style does happen on the floor as opposed to the bed. It can happen. You can get doggy style on the couch. But a lot of times doggy style happens on the floor. It's, one of them things where you're watching TV with your boo. Something comes on, y'all bored, a little hugging, a little touching, a little licking, a little nipping. Next thing you know, your pants around your ankles. He's got you down on the floor. You assuming a position. You're working it. Then about an hour later, you in the bathroom, freshening up, and you notice you got these red fucking bruises all over your knees, and you wonder where the fuck did that came from. Bitch, we all know where it came from, okay? That friction from him pounding your ass and sliding you back and forth across the damn floor. So yes, we got a complaint about the knees. All I'm saying, ladies, some of my gay guys have figured this out for themselves. It's called a mat. You put a nice comfortable mat on the floor. You can even use a sturdy towel if it's not on the linoleum or wood, because if it's on linoleum wood, your ass is really going to be sliding, and it's a different type of ride altogether. But if you put just a mat or a towel down for your knees when you start to do it, or very thin pillows. I don't really prefer pillows because that tends to get into the way of an angle. But if you just put something down to protect your knees, you don't get the burn, or you can reduce it. So yes, I understand about the sore knees. Now, number 5, this is where we're going to have this conversation. I understand about it being too passive a position for some lovers. And here's why. If you're like me, you're very active. You find sex to be not only exhilarating, but it's also playful. You have a chance to be silly with your partner. You have a chance to be naughty with your partner. When you are in a doggy style position, you can't do any of that. And this is what I mean. You might have a lover who's very sensitive about his nipples. In certain positions, you can access his nipples. Yes, ladies, let me be clear. We ain't talking about gay guys. You know I love my queens, but there are straight men that love their nipples sucked, okay? Sucked and nibbled on. They get off while he's back there shaking his head. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of men that like their nipples played with just as much as we do. So if you're in a doggy style position, you can't do that. You can't access that. Also, every now and then, ladies, at the right moment, we like to give them a little nip. We like to give them a little scratch. We like to just give them a little taste of pain just to heighten the sensation, make it a little more intense. When you're in doggy style, you can't do that shit. Your whole focus is enjoying what's going on and keeping your ass from sliding across the floor by keeping your balance, keeping yourself braced against what he's doing, against the sensation that he's giving you, the pounding. So you can't do any of those things. Another problem that some people had, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this ain't one I've ever had, but apparently some people have had, not only is it too passive a position for them, but visually there's no stimulation. Now, here's the thing. I'm one of those people that like to watch too. So when I'm in a face-to-face position, whether it's me on his lap, me in missionary, or knees up to my ankles, whatever, I like to watch. I like to see what he's doing with me. I like to, it's something about seeing it that gets me. Now, I'm more audible than I am visual, so I'm probably in that little 2 or 3%. Noises do it more for me than seeing, but I do like to see. I do like the visual. So when a lot of partners, especially women, oddly enough, not as many men, but I guess men are more about the bottom line. But women, we do like to look too. We like the visual. So for a lot of women, this was a position that they didn't care for that main reason, that it didn't give them any visual stimulation, that whatever was in front of them, that was it. Now, here's my thing. Again, when someone goes blind, they don't stop having a life. The rest of their senses are heightened. So what I suggest you do is, if you're a visual person, now try to experience or try to really appreciate your other senses. Close your fucking eyes. Listen to him breathing. Listen to the sound of his balls smacking the back of your ass. Take in the scent, because the perfume of your lovemaking is very erotic. Have a little music going on in the background, or something that's relaxing and enjoyable and mood pleasing to you. Let yourself really sink into the play scene. Don't concentrate so much. And ladies, I'm just putting this across the board. Yes, we're talking about doggy style, but it's been my experience that yes, I've done it myself, have a tendency to focus too much on that one thing that we're not getting, instead of the 10 things that we are getting. So all I'm saying is, if you are a visual person, and because not all the time can you be facing the video watching a porno while he's doing it, because I'm gonna tell you, that's some hot shit right there. Being doggy style watching a movie while he's getting it, yes. But if you can't do that, if it's just a spontaneous thing and there's no visual stimuli in front of you, then just relax and enjoy everything else. Just go with the fact that there's no visual stimulation. Don't try to force it. Just close your eyes and enjoy everything else. Focus on something else that's really erotic to you, and trust me, you will get over that one little thing. And the last thing and this has happened, so I do understand it. This was a joint issue, but this one actually was more the guys than it was the girls. Sometimes, ladies, when we back it up, we throw them off rhythm. And it takes them a minute. While it's back, they're like, yup. Sometimes they don't want us to move. They don't want us to move. Sometimes when they're giving you that good pounding, they have found that rhythm that is really, really good for them. And they're trying to stay with that, because they find that sweet spot where they don't get off too quickly and they stay hard longer. So because they have that sweet spot going, that perfect rhythm going, when you decide all of a sudden to back it up, you throw them. And it takes them a second or two to get that rhythm back. You actually do throw them. So unless he tells you, because he's trying to sneak that break in to back it up, don't do that shit. Stay still. Leave that ass exactly where he got it. And if you notice that when it's really good to them, they will hold your waist. They will hold onto your hips firmly to prevent you from doing just that. So when you're thinking, like, while he's back there, he know I'm telling the truth. So when you think, oh, he's really feeling this, he got to hold on to me because he's going to lose control. No, baby, that ain't what it is. That ain't what it is. He done found that sweet spot and he scared your ass is going to back it up and throw him. He's trying to keep your ass still. He just doesn't want you to fuck up his flow. Okay. So I'm just letting you know, sometimes, ladies, we don't need to be backing it up and joining and helping him drive. Just let him be in the driver's seat when he's in doggy style, because basically that is what that is. We get a lot of something out of it too. Now here's one little tip from the naughty one. If you really do want to give him a little surprise, because a lot of guys don't expect it, and you gotta kind of make sure you're in a good position. Make sure you got your hands where it's supposed to be. You're gonna have to easily slide one hand in front of you. Why? Because you're gonna take that other hand, slip it between your legs, and you are gonna grab his balls. Okay? While he's loving me to show, I'm just telling you, he's loving me to show. But you're gonna grab his balls. Why? Because when a guy's giving you some pounding like that, and he feels that stimulation of his balls being massaged, not grab, don't squeeze, but if you just give him a little soft tug, a little pull, a little kneading, that actually helps the arousal. That helps make it a little intense. They will love you for that shit, okay? So I'm just saying, ladies, even though you're in doggy style, don't ignore the balls, okay? We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back in one. Welcome back, lovers. This is the Nice and Naughty Hour, and yes, I'm your hostess, the Naughty Scribe. Yeah, you saw me jamming because I love those rips on that on that clip. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the Naughty News segment. Okay, as some of you remember on the last show, I did tell you that because of some family issues and some technical issues that we were having, that the online store has been delayed. Good news on that one. Finally, yes, in about 2 weeks, around the beginning of the year, literally a day or two before or right after New Year's Eve, the store will finally be up and running. So yes, lovers, thank you for being so patient. I know a lot of you were hitting the old site, but trust and believe the new site's going to be better. And for being patient, we're going to have a special show code. As some of you know who watched me last season, every episode I would have a little code that showed up at the top right corner of the screen while I'm broadcasting. And for those of you who see the code, if you write it down, you have 24 hours to use it, but it would give you anywhere from 25 to 35, 10, 15, whatever, percentage off of any of your items you purchased off the Nice and Naughty Adult Boutique. So because of that, for a limited time, when the store comes open again, we are going to offer a 35% discount code for the new opening. So be on the lookout for that, but we are going to have that coming up soon. The new book, Play the Piper, is also on schedule. Thank you, Mercy. So it will be available on Amazon, Kobo, Google Play, iBooks, and the like during the first part of 2017. We're looking at an expected date of March, but it definitely will be within the first couple of months of the new year. So support a sister on that one. The rap contest is still going on. I've had questions about that. It is not too late to enter. Please contact Jeremy Beaver. The flyer is on my website, but it's also on the show. The little break that we do is all about the rap and song contest. So again, if you're a rapper, if you're a singer, if you're a lyricist, put together one of your sexiest, and it can actually be a little slutty, whatever floats your boat. Send us one of your most sensual compilations. Contact Jeremy Beaver with Listen Vision Live or WLSVradio.com. Phone numbers on our site and on the video. He'll tell you more about it, but the grand prize is, again, 5 hours. Yes, 5 hours of free recording time with Listen Vision Live Studio. In addition to that, you will be able to be on the Nice and Naughty Hour for the entire hour, where we talk about you, your music, what got you inspired, some of your works, and where you're hoping to go with your career. So again, you're going to get 5 hours of recording time, and you're going to get an hour of free promotion here on the Nice and Naughty Hour, okay? So no, it is not too late for you to put in your work. Submit it to Jeremy Beaver at WLSV Radio or ListenVisionLive.com, okay? Also, too, we are still going to be doing, again, this is going to be when the store opens, when I announce the grand opening of the new Nice and Naughty online boutique. That is also, again, in roughly about another 2 weeks, we are going to officially launch the Black Bag giveaway. And yes, lovers, it is going to be the dance or stripper pole. We're still giving that away. That has not changed. It's just that, again, with some family emergencies and some technical difficulties that I wasn't too happy about, there has been a delay in launching the store, and it's important that both work together, because if we don't have a store, we can't do the giveaway, okay? So, yes, the Black Bag giveaway will go into effect in the next 2 weeks. We are going to be giving away a dance pole. Now, as some of you know, lovers, this is how we roll. What we're going to do is have an online contest, and part of the contest is helping to spread the word about the Nice and Naughty Hour, about the Naughty Scribe and her works, and about the boutique. So the more you help spread the word, the more entries you get. The more entries you get, the more chances you have of having something a little nicer and a little naughtier come Valentine's Day. And that pretty much does it for the Naughty News segment. So we're going to bounce into a quick break. We're going to take a look at that book trailer one more time while I wrap up. Okay? See you in one. Welcome back, lovers. This is the Nice and Naughty Hour, and once again, I'm your host, the Naughty Scribe. Now, I don't normally do this, so I hope he's watching. And if not, I'm going to embarrass him by putting it on my Facebook channel. I am the oldest of 3 children, and today, December 14th, is my baby brother's birthday. He is now 49 years old, so too officer friendly, let's put it that way. I don't want to embarrass him too much. But to my baby bro, happy birthday, sweetheart. I know I didn't get a chance to call you early today. It's been kind of crazy, but much love from me and my family. Happy birthday. So, yay! Kay Lowry, Also, if you're watching earlier, tomorrow is my girl Kay Lowry's birthday. We ain't gonna tell how old she is. Let's just say she's old enough to know and good enough to go. So to Kay Lowry, happy birthday, diva. That's my sister in live streaming. She's such a really, really cool person inside and out. So to both my brother and to Kay Lowry, happy birthday today. Also, too, I wanted to thank everybody. We've been able to look at some of our ratings, and you guys are starting to support a sister again, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. We're going to be doing a few more things to help build up the brand, but also I really just do appreciate the fact that you stayed with me, even though I had to take a little break for a while, get some stuff done and together. You welcomed me back, and that was absolutely wonderful. And of course, I thank Jeremy and Wiley and my WLBS radio family, my Listen Vision Live family, because you guys have made it so much easier for me to get back in the saddle. So that was pretty cool. So before we wrap it up, again, because I just really, really love this, do Google Fellatio Cafe, Geneva, Switzerland. I'm telling you, it's funny as hell. And I'm going to put a survey up on my Facebook page just to find out if it were legal here in the United States, how many guys, and yes, I'm talking about the guys, how many guys would actually patron if your job offered it as a benefit as well? Would you honestly and openly let people know that you were going to a blowjob bar? Now, again, these are famous in Thailand. They literally do have booze and broads. And you literally go in, you get your drink, you get your cigar, you go into a little back area, and you get a blowjob, and that's it. No fucking, but you actually do get a blowjob, and it's just something that you do, and no one sweats it. You can actually go into a blowjob bar as if you were going into a TJ Maxx or going into a Food Lion. No one gives a fuck. They all know what you're going in there for. It's just something to do. It's nothing that raises eyebrows, only for tourists who go in there because they can't believe that shit is legal. So again, Mr. Bradley Charvette, my sexpreneur, goodness bless you, sweetheart, because it takes balls, serious balls, to do that kind of shit and put your name on it. So I salute you. I think it's fabulous. Okay, so with that, lovers, it's about magic time. I hope you enjoyed our dog of a show. And I'll see you next week. And remember, life's nicer when it's naughty. Good night.